Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Well, bam. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to say it. You know what I'm saying? I just can display it. In the heavyweight division, the biggest fight of late was Dillian Whyte versus Oscar Rivas. Right? We know Dillian Whyte got doped. He had the metabolites in him. Right? We know about that. Now, what I tell you, right? Oscar Rivas and his team wants that decision overturned immediately. They want it overturned, and they don't want they want a disqualification. They don't even want a no contest, right? And someone from his team was talking, Oscar Rivas' team, they're talking about the same things we're talking about, which is obvious. Anyone would be talking about these things. And it's just the fact of you found out about the doping results, and you did not let Oscar Rivas and his team know so they can decide if they want to do this. Someone could have got hurt. Those are the obvious things that you're talking about right now. The guy, one of the team members from Rivas, is also uh, you know, uh, saying that the BBOC, whatever, the British Boxing of Control, whatever, the ones that were in charge, they should not have allowed him to fight. They're at fault as well, right? People can get hurt. It's dangerous. It's morally wrong. Even if it's not legally wrong, it's morally wrong, and it is. You got caught doped with substance in there. You want to tell the opponent to let him have the opportunity to do so, to do something. Or, for example, like a Povetkin did when he was doped for the main Stavern fight, when the main Stavern was already after the weigh-in. I'm talking about Povetkin. They found out about a day and a half before Povetkin's fight against Stavern, right? After he got doped, they had Johan Duhaupas there within 24 hours, which means they knew Povetkin was doped. So I assume that Johan Duhaupas got a whole heap of money to do that, to know he's going to fight a dope fighter, and on super duper short notice, right? So Rivas would have had an opportunity to say, well, I ain't fighting, or y'all gonna pay me a whole lot more. And none of that happened. There will be lawsuits coming on unless, this is what I'm telling you, y'all better overturn it immediately with no discussion. If Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and Dillian Whyte, all that, you better overturn that. As soon as that B sample comes up, and it's taking a long time for the B sample, which is funny. But I'm just saying, immediately. There's nothing to discuss. Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, Eddie Hearn, he needs to get humble here, right? I heard him, in a couple of interviews, and he's talking about people don't know what they're talking about, and why are you talking about? Give him a chance to, be exonerated and things like that. Yeah, of course, but stop talking like it's people just on the internet. It's mainstream news here, okay? And he was caught with some serious stuff in his system. It's serious. Eddie Hearn's talking about, well, people got doped in America and everywhere. Well, shoot, we don't need to be talking about where everybody got doped. Shoot, Russia, the whole doping, whatever, been kicked out of the Olympics, 1,000 people. People doping all over the place. It's about stopping it. Doesn't matter. Your boy got caught. You was talking smack. He got caught, right? And he's accusing your main boy, Anthony Joshua, of taking TUEs. So concentrate on that. We know Jarrell Miller got doped. But here's the difference. You won't see no Americans, supporting him, right? Trying to give him excuses. America's going to be telling, look, dude, you out for a minute. Get yourself together, come back, we might get behind you. But don't go unpenalized because you're American, or because you're black, or because you're fat, or whatever it is that make you like fighters, right? Or because you got a big mouth. No, your big mouth, fat American self has to take off because you got doping. You're not a little bit, right? That's how we roll. So therefore, same thing with Dillian Whyte. We gotta wait for the B sample, of course, but the A sample had a whole lot of stuff in it. So everybody, chill out a little bit. Be a little humble here, especially Eddie Hearn, man, because you're out here, you messed up a lot with the way Eddie Hearn was acting in Anthony Joshua negotiations. Right? That, a lot of people turned off from Eddie Hearn because of that. And the fans that were, just being totally ridiculous at the particular time. Now, a lot of people can't differentiate. They can't say, okay, well, that's Eddie Hearn in this particular, situation, right? Because Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya, they're not better. They're not morally better, I don't think, than Eddie Hearn either. Eddie Hearn got his, business from his father and, whatever. He didn't have to go through much as a kid. Okay, whatever. Some people get money as soon as they're born, some don't. Okay, and it might have made him not his character not that great, but he's also at all these fights working hard, right? Giving us fights that you want to see. You don't act like we didn't want to see Danny Jacobs versus Canelo. Tried to give us Canelo versus Andre. Did you just ignoring him? That's another story too, and that's ridiculous in boxing right now too. An undisputed fight that Canelo's able to not take, but Eddie Hearn's trying to do it. So he does good things. He's just signed Huey Fury, which is an awesome signing. To be honest with you, Huey Fury is only 24 years old with all those skills. He's a fury. He can fight. Don't have that much punch power, but he can fight. Definitely can fight. So that's a good signing. It's just the problem will be Matchroom, what people have seen that you did not tell Oscar Rivas. Your credibility is going to take a shot. Your morals, people are going to be thinking, man, them people, watch out for them. You might get sued here. So therefore, chill out. Give this man that disqualification, right? Oscar Rivas is in the mix now. We get our focus on him. He's in the mix now, period. No matter what, then he's supposed to be the mandatory or whatever. I don't know how they're going to do that with Dillian Whyte if he's going to be suspended. But if that B sample comes back, he's going to be suspended for some substantial amount of time, right? The metabolites, they ain't gonna just let metabolites go by. They might let a little something else go by, but metabolites, they ain't letting the metabolites go by like that. And two different ones, Epic and Hydro, they're not letting that go by like that. So the B sample right now really needs to have about 18,000 bodyguards in front of it because they're about to try to do something with that B sample. Because if it comes back the same as the A sample, then his career is in tatters for a minute. And I don't think that England's going to let that happen. I think something could possibly go up with that. I think they really need to be paying attention to what's going on with that B sample. But that's a whole different story. The thing is, when it comes to boxing right now, you can say what you want to. But we need, like I'm going to keep saying, to get behind the boxers that are not doped, right? We need to have a heavyweight, pound for pound, and a heavyweight list of people that are not doped, right? Wilder, Parker, Konaki, Pulev, Usyk, Rivas, Herkovich, Michael Hunter, those kind of guys, right? The names are long for people that have doped or affiliated with doped, right? Or people accusing them a lot. Now, the ones accusing like Anthony Joshua, that could be just jealousy. You know what I mean? So Anthony Joshua is not doped if he haven't been caught, but he has been accused from several people and not just once. That's the one thing about Anthony Joshua. So he's in limbo actually with that, but he has never been caught. But let's see how much he fights outside of the UK. And that might change, but until now, still, no matter what we think, he still hasn't been caught, right? But there's a lot of people who've been affiliated. Joshua, for example, Dillian Whyte, we see now, Luis Ortiz, Povetkin, right? Ridiculous, Manuel Char, Eckhart Tepper. What about Luis Ortiz, right? Right? The both Furies, Tyson and Huey, right? It's a lot of people. Warwick, remember that guy who was supposed to fight Deontay Wilder and he had to fight Gerald Washington? Warwick, right? That's who that was. You know what I'm saying? Shannon Briggs and Tony Thompson, the old school's got to let him out of there. Lucas Brown, right? Even you can go back, right? You can go back to Vladimir Klitschko. If you listen to Kubrat Pulev, I don't know if you pull up an article. Pulev was complaining, right? And this is serious stuff here. Vladimir Klitschko, when they fought, Pulev had to be dope tested, and Vladimir didn't have to. And the excuse was, well, Vladimir travels the world, we can't follow where he is. Imagine that. We can't follow where he is, so he won't be dope tested. Pulev will. Right? Pulev was trying to tell the world that. Pull it up, you'll see. So for me, you don't want that in your fight. Even Vladimir. And there's a lot of other things I've heard about Vladimir Klitschko. I like Vitaly more. But my point is, if you didn't get caught, you didn't get caught. But there are allegations. Imagine you fight a fighter and he gets dope tested, and that was Kubrat Pulev, and you don't. Is that fair? Think about that. So there's things going on. It's a massive problem. That's starting with Dillian Whyte. Though I'm just naming names so we can see all the names you name on the people who've been affiliated with dope lists. Those are the ones we talk about the most. And that has to change. So yes, Oscar Rivas, that should be a disqualification for sure. No contest, not enough. It should be a disqualification if that B sample comes back. I think we all can agree on that. Dome Sports Talk worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.